West, you have obviously your cultural traditions, you have dance, your music, your great architecture, literature and all that. But they're different, they're somewhat isolated from each other. If you want to go to dance, you go to a ballet. You go to disco dance one-on-one. Literature, you go and read Shakespeare or you read Keats or Milton or whatever your favorite literature is. What you find in India is all these facets of culture. Same temple I went to, Kapaleshwaram temple, which is about 20-minute walk from here. You go there, and then you open the door, there's two people dancing, Bharatanatyam performance. He's dancing, and then to a song that was composed maybe 1,000 years ago. That classification of that and the power it has over your mind, in evoking highly specific emotions like, warlike emotion like Atana, or something more like Aberi, which is more sort of global and very hard to describe it in words because the different brain process involved in the right hemisphere for music. It has its own language. And then merging that with the words, the literature and the poetry of Tagaya or Musami Dikshidhar or any of these great poets, Kabir, and to do all that creates this pleasing and harmonious resonance between different facets of culture. Music, mythology, poetry, literature, all of these facets which remain isolated in the West by accident, by circumstance, continue to resonate in the human brain in India alone. So this pleasing resonance is set up, and that is especially powerful in its impact on the brain and well-being of humans. And this is what makes Hindu culture unique.
To experience the supreme rasa, visit not a theatre, but an ancient Indian temple. Even if there is no performance going on, just look at the beauty of an idol. Many of the colors are contained within them. Temples are the confluence of all Indian arts, and the idols are that of the rasas. Temples and idol worship made India the most prosperous and culturally rich country. India's multiple languages to create poetry, its various forms of music and dance, and its many forms of dramas are not found anywhere else in the world. When many idols were mutilated and their abodes destroyed, the Natya Mandapas were desecrated, and Natyashastra was lost. And thus began a deterioration in the classical arts. But now, after centuries, Natyashastra has been rediscovered. New theatres have been built, but the Devatas, according to the Natyashastra, are absent on stage. Now the arts no longer create divine feelings for the world. Some tribal cultures still have Devatas in their performances, but some tribals are being converted to other religions. The Devatas of these fields and farms may not remain here for long. When Devatas are not pleased on stage, or when their abodes are destroyed, where do they go? The rishis say that they make the trees their home. For example, Vishnu finds his restful place on peepal trees, Indra on Shirish, the sun on Neem, and so on. But people are cutting the trees mindlessly. They are in fact only hurting the Devatas. Devatas dwell in animals also, but people slaughter them for pleasure too. Where would the Devatas go in the end? Devatas adore the land of Bharat. They all want to be born here. Lord Vishnu, the Preserver, says, I always reside in Bharatvarsh. But India is facing challenges of further divisions. Where would the Devatas go in the end? This is a script in whose letters the Devatas reside. It is called Devanagari. Yogis formed these letters on the lotus petals of their conscious beings and attained renunciation. It is an irony today that many people write Hindi and Sanskrit in the Roman script, and the Devatas are being saddened again. Indians have known many ways to appease the Devatas. They please them with songs and dance. Devatas also rejoice with them. And the foremost Devata is a woman. Only Hindus have their most powerful Devata in the form of a female. She is the mightiest of all warriors. All the Devatas draw their power from her. Every woman is considered a part of her persona. Devatas like to reside where women live happily. Devatas are devotees of truth. They are different forms of the same truth. In India, there is unity in diversity. But where is the unity of India? India's unity is truth, and diversity are the Devatas. This concept of unity in diversity comes from this hymn of the Rig Veda. It says that truth is only one, and realized persons call it by the many names of Devatas, like Indra, Mitra, Agni, Varun, and so on. Therefore, the diversity of Indian culture is rooted in the diversity of the Devatas. The Devatas of clan and of the villages. The Devatas of trees, forests, and cities. The Devatas of rivers and mountains. The vast variety of Devatas and their stories are unique to India. Devata and beauty both pivot around diversity. The beauty of any temple lies in the diversity of its architectural style. Satyam, truth, and Shivam are one, but there is diversity in Sundaram, beauty. Another uniqueness of Indian culture is Vad, debate. Debate is possible when there are two or more. Debate helps sharpen our logic, and this leads to the truth. Non-violence, ahimsa, is not the pinnacle of India. Truth is. Pran jaye, par vachan na jaye. To uphold the truth, many Indians have sacrificed their lives. Truth always triumphs. Satyameva jayate. Satyanash, or obliteration of truth, is considered an abuse in India. Industrialization has ruined biodiversity and polluted the environment. Religious conversion has also destroyed the diversity of Devatas and blocked the ancient path of truth. The moment it is believed that one God is truth, then existence gets divided. One God and the one who believes in God. The worldview of the oneness of existence gets fragmented. This fragmented worldview has become the basis of modern science and social sciences, where the world is only human-centric. But in Vedanta, the one all-pervading Brahma is realized through the concept of negation, Neti Neti. Mahavakya, the great declaration of the Upanishads, is not that Brahma is one, but I am Brahm, Aham Brahmasmi. The worshipper of the Devatas says, O Ishwar, you are not separate from me. Devatas do not exist independent of Brahma. Brahma cannot be brought into cognizance in practical life, but is experienced through many Devatas. Therefore, for daily practice, Adi Shankaracharya established Panchayatan Temples, which had 5 primal Devatas in every village of India. The business of life goes on with Vyavaharik Satta, functional reality. The world functions with the existence of humans, Devatas and Asuras, or demons. The eternal fight between the Devatas and Asuras is the functional reality of the world. In a classical temple, the supreme Devata is placed in the sanctum sanctorum, and on the outer walls there are scenes of Devatas and Asuras at war, the Ram-Ravan war and the Mahabharat war. The depiction teaches us that humans should emulate the Devatas, who are alert and clever and have the resolution to ensure victory. According to Hindu philosophy, at the time of the churning of oceans, Devatas dealt with the demons cleverly. Alert as they were, they took away all the precious things that came out of the churning. Lakshmi was taken by Vishnu, the elephant Iravat by Indra, and the cow Kamdhenu by Brahma. United, they were cautious, determined, and clear in their goal. It is quite the reverse in India today. The evil-minded are clever, alert, and united, whereas the gentle ones are often confused and unguarded. These idols are in Thailand. In India, the evil-minded have removed the inspiring sources of the righteous ones. The righteous people are divided in their thoughts. In Sanskrit, division is called Vibhakt. The opposite of Vibhakt is Bhakt, united.
Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama.
Bhakti, uniting devotion, has kept India culturally united. Bhakti originated from the Vedas and turned into a mass movement in Dravid land and later was spread across India. The saints of the Bhakti movement were from all sections of society. It was the largest social reform movement in the world. The Bhakti movement revolutionized temple architecture. Temples became centers of culture and education and were spread across every village of India. With local innovations in temples, India's cultural diversity reached its zenith. The panorama of cultural diversity and dharmic unity created by the temples would not have been possible through a king or a state. A temple became a Tirtha, and every Tirtha became the hub of temples. People from the north went on pilgrimage to the south, and from the south to the north, from east to west, and west to east. The idol of Hinglaj temple in Baluchistan was brought from Bengal. Many priests of the south are seen today at Kashi, Mathura, Nepal, and Badrinath. The Brahmins of Rameshwaram and Thanjavur temples came from the north. The prosperous temple culture extended to Borobudur in Java and Angkor Wat in Cambodia. This is the map of temple culture, and this can be called the expanse of Indian culture. The last wave of prosperity and urbanization in India came from temples. Temples had become the hub of economic and cultural activities. Some people say that we should first eradicate poverty and build hospitals instead of temples. Thousands of years of experience suggest that temples can help in eradicating poverty. During the period in which the temples were built, India was the most prosperous nation with 34% of the world's GDP. During the realm of temples, Indians were prosperous, healthy, and happy. There is no equivalent in the history of the world. Their technical knowledge was very advanced. This type of cutting and carving of granite is not possible without advanced machines. King Bhoj in his book, Samarangan Sutradhar, mentions the name of various machines. Humans built temples to please the Devatas, and Devatas fulfilled the emotional needs of humans. Temples became the laboratories of Natyashastra. Temples were instruments for introducing humans to their rasaful existence. The realization of Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, all at once, is possible at one place called Bharat. Some scholars look for the oppressor and the oppressed in the temple system. They neither understand the administration of temples nor the minds of their devotees. The politics and economics of any system are created by the minds of their people. These temples are not the abodes of a god in the sky seeking to punish non-believers. The deities are the forms of different powers of nature which are experienced by all humans. A single Devata does not possess all the powers. There is a division of power. Some have the power of intellect, others of strength, some of beauty. One provides Ayurveda, another rainwater, while others give light and energy. They are all a family working to nurture us all. Temples are the expression of our gratitude towards them. Vedas are replete with the songs of gratitude to the powers of nature. Like the Vedic Devatas, there was a division of power and work in the old traditional Indian society. Only the caste of Vishwakarma could make the idols and none other. Brahmins performed the mantra Abhishekam. The Bunkar caste provided clothes to the Devatas. Kumhar provided the Kalash. Swarnkar, the ornaments. Charmkar, the shoes. Rathkar provided the chariots. And the sweepers performed their tasks in the temples. The Devatas intelligently created this professional distinction of castes. This well-organized distinction protected Indian society from abuses like slavery. There was a hierarchy in the caste system, but never an attitude of taking over the other's profession. Traditionally, castes complemented each other. Everyone had independent and well-protected sources of living. It was an ancient system that worked well in those times. The beauty and prosperity of this young woman shows the status of life of that time. Such liberated and peaceful emotions are not visible today. The medieval invasions and the idea of man being born a sinner made the divine human mind sick. Humans are not born sinners. Every man and woman is a divine Devi and Devta. Devatas reside in humans, and humans reside in the cities of Devatas. The Sanskrit word for city is Nagar. Nagar became Nokor, and in Khmer it became Angkor. This is Angkor Wat. Wat means the ramparts of the temple complex. The first word used for a temple complex was Narayan Vatika Prakaram. Who is Narayan? Narayan is the one eternally resting on Nar, the fluid of creation. He pervades the infinite universe. What is infinite? That which cannot be comprehended by the intellect. Narayan sleeps on the infinite serpent power of the universe. The momentous appearance of Narayan caused panic in Arjun, and he said, "O Vishnu, O Prabhu Vishnu, who are you? O eternal Purusha, I neither see your beginning nor your end." Then Narayan revealed himself in his pleasant four-armed figure. Vishnu is one of the 12 sons of Aditi. The light of 1,000 suns rising together cannot match his luminescence. The sun is Vishnu incarnate. Vishnu is Sumeru among the mountains. There are 5 peaks of Sumeru, all standing in a four-armed formation, creating Chaturbhuj Yantra. The placement of Sumeru is according to the movement of the sun. This is an observatory of the sun, Surya, and the one who created it was none other than King Suryavarman. This is the ultimate manifestation of the Supreme, who is the preserver of the cosmos. Khmer kings built the city for the eternally restful Vishnu. It was not only floating on a fluid of Nar, but they made it the most gigantic on earth. This is the biggest human creation of the divine on earth. The area of Angkor Wat is far greater than modern Paris. It has more stones than the stones of all the pyramids combined. The stones of the pyramids were brought from half a kilometer, but for Angkor Wat, they were brought from as far as 40 kilometers away. The magnitude of Angkor cannot be perceived by the human eye. Perhaps a rare one's presence here for long may experience it in its completeness, or perhaps there is no one. The continuity of culture makes a human being humane. Dhyan, meditation, is a culture. When the Dharma Yuga of Dhyan is annihilated, then the Kali Yuga of conflict begins. The caves where the Buddhist monks once used to meditate became the launching pad of the September 11th attacks in America. The world is one family, and let noble thoughts come to us from all directions. The river valleys that once reverberated with these chantings became the valleys of terror.